allow me to refer you to some of my previous campaigns so you can get a feel for who I am. In 2015, I ran for Bergen County Freeholder. The focal point of that campaign was going head-to-head against a corrupt and powerful Bergen County prosecutor. I did not win that election, but the victory I took from that, I took that man's job. He is no longer a prosecutor in Bergen County. Last year, I used the debate stage to put forth an agenda suggesting over $200 million of cuts from the county budget. I am a libertarian. I am anti-corruption, and I am for small government. You know my record. I'm running for governor here today. My campaign is based on 2 points: victimless crime and taxes. If I'm elected governor, I will no longer tolerate the incarceration of our people for victimless crime. Therefore, if I am elected on Inauguration Day, I'll be issuing mass pardons, proactively and retroactively, for everyone in this state for cannabis-related crimes, for anything Second Amendment related. All my friends, in the Second Amendment community, you can count on me. No longer will we ever have to hear the stories, the horror stories of people like Brian Aiken or Shaneen Allen, or God rest their soul, Carol Bone. My tax plan is revolutionary. It took me 18 months to develop it. It is called compulsory volunteerism. This tax plan will do away with all of your current tax forms. No more property taxes, no more sales tax, no more gas taxes. In fact, you won't even have to pay for vehicle registrations. The way this program works, it's still a tax, still an income tax, but you'll be given the option of where you can place your funds. If you like your school board, you can place part of your compulsory payment into your school board. If you like your library, put it there. This creates competition for your tax dollars. As we know, in the real world, competition makes a better product. Right now, government does not have any competition. This creates competition for your tax dollar. It'll create a smaller, more efficient government. If you have any questions about this, please read the handout or grab me later on. Now, my competitor, Ryan Manville, his tax plan is called zero annual property tax. And if he had it his way, what he's proposing is, instead of paying your property taxes annually, you'd be paying them up front. I don't know, he didn't specify how many years, probably 8 to 10 years or so up front. Now, those property taxes, that's going to be anywhere between $80,000 to $100,000. Many people won't be able to afford that. That's going to have to get rolled into a mortgage. You're still going to be paying your taxes, but in addition to paying your taxes, you're going to have to pay interest on that over 30 years. I don't see this as a very libertarian plan. And on the other side of it, too, I see it as creating a tremendous housing crisis on the supply side. You've seen the differences between our plans. I'm proposing no more property tax. He's proposing maintaining with the added feature of paying interest on it. This past week at the debates, a point came up about the National Guard. I said I would zero it out if I could because I'm against the government's monopoly of force. Ryan took the other stance. He's in favor of keeping the National Guard around. I don't want to run because it could be used against you. Ryan's advocacy for maintaining the government's monopoly of force isn't libertarian at all. It's close to statism. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Pete's time has expired. You'll now move on to Ryan Manville. Ryan, you have 4 minutes to address the body. If they leave time. If the candidate leaves time, there can be questions and answers.
Thanks, Patrick. I'd like to stand on my own qualifications. Fellow libertarians, imagine a world of liberty. A world where the nation's eyes will be upon New Jersey in 2017 as the only state that will likely run a libertarian candidate for governor. Envision a world where the right candidate could capture the governorship and dramatically shift New Jersey towards its original intent of liberty and prosperity. Picture a world where the libertarian candidate garners at least a double-digit general electorate vote with a puncher's chance of an upset. My name is Ryan Manville, and I am the candidate for the Libertarian Party, and for the New Jersey governor in 2017. My very background, unique qualities, and full-time focus on the right issues will usher in the start of a new era in New Jersey politics. The New Jersey Libertarian Party is in a position of positive momentum after the 2016 general election, and we must capture it. My candidacy will be known for out-of-the-box thinking, high energy, and will capitalize on our party's forward movement. For the past 15 years, I've lived in Union County with my wife and 2 children. After being raised in Westfield, I went to Tufts University on a Navy scholarship where I received an electrical engineering degree. I proudly served in the U.S. Submarine Force for 7 years, while simultaneously obtaining my MBA from Northwestern University. Coming out of the military, I was a consultant for the New Jersey office of McKinsey & Company, and I served executives and corporations which served as models towards my approach in addressing tough problems. For the past 13 years, I've worked in a variety of financial services leadership roles at American Express, First Bank Chief Operating Officer, which is a billion-dollar bank out of Hamilton, New Jersey, and most recently Capital One. Serving others for a higher purpose was my calling as a naval officer. I look to proudly serve as a Libertarian candidate for governor. 100% of my energy and focus will be on this race, and I intend to lead the Libertarian Party in New Jersey to heights never achieved. Fellow Libertarians, it is time I became your full-time candidate. I have the qualities that would best suited to capture this opportunity. Number 1, my personal philosophy is a complete fit with the libertarian ideals. This is wholeheartedly demonstrated with content posted on my website, deep individual conversations I've had with many of you within this room, and in the recent 3-hour Libertarian Gubernatorial debate held last Saturday. I will communicate a platform that not only speaks for the party, but with a message that resonates across the millions of voters in New Jersey that are libertarians at heart, but just don't know it yet. A compelling candidate, credible candidate is required. Number 2, the stakes for this election are higher than they ever have been. The Libertarian Party needs the highest level of commitment from their candidate. I will devote my full energy into this campaign, taking leave from my career to push the libertarian ideals throughout the state of New Jersey, full-time. The Libertarian Party needs someone who can put 100% effort towards a professional run. Critically, the ability to achieve major fundraising goals and be invited on the same debate stage with the Democrats and Republicans will only be possible with a full-time candidate. And finally, the governorship is the highest executive office in New Jersey. We need a candidate that has executive experience at a commensurate high level. This will be a tough journey. We need to pick a candidate that has been exposed to a variety of challenges in several world-class organizations and has demonstrated success. The time for me to become your full-time candidate will focus on the right issues, what I call the 3 L's. Number 1, lessen burden of taxation. This will entail a reduction in the state budget of 20% by 2020, with 2% per annum decline in perpetuity starting in 2021. Elimination of the sales and corporate tax, and major property tax reform. You will have an option, but we will get rid of annual property taxes from New Jersey for good. Number 2, lower intrusion of government into our personal lives. Our firearms laws are amongst the most restrictive in the country. The third thing is legalization of marijuana, which I think all of us here are throughout. Finally, I make the following pledges. I pledge to promote the Libertarian brand first. I pledge to work directly with the many candidates that are here in the room today to help them with their candidacy. I pledge to hit 500 municipalities within New Jersey and to raise at least $400,000 to get on the debate stage. It is time, fellow libertarians, to have a proven leader and full-time candidate to make our dreams of liberty and prosperity a reality for New Jersey. Our party needs to vote for someone who will commit full-time to the campaign that libertarians deserve, and we need a candidate with deep executive experience for the highest New Jersey executive office. Let's make the first step towards regaining liberty and prosperity together.
Well, how do you follow that? My name is Jason McKenna. I'm new to the party. I came in last year. So let me give you a quick synopsis of who I am and where I'm from. I was born in Michigan in 1972, which is the birth date of the Libertarian Party. My father ran for Congress in 1976 under the Libertarian ticket, and it was 1976, and he was a Libertarian, so you all know how that went. I've spent my entire life as a Libertarian, small L, only becoming big L after moving to New Jersey and realizing, whoa, New Jersey has to move in a different direction. I planted roots here. I believe in the state. I believe in the people in this state. That being said, I think if I were to get the nomination, I would work as hard as humanly possible to try and teach people that we need to, there is a third way. It's not left. It's not right. It's what you want. You do not need to have the government in your way. You do not need to have the government in your face, ever. Its only job is to protect life, liberty, property. The end. And I would work in every possible way to make that happen. If I were to become governor, I would use the tools of the executive to stand in the way of the federal interfering with the state. I would stand in the way of the local interfering with the people. I would use every possible tool I could have at my disposal to eliminate as many executive positions as possible to reduce the budget. I mean, many people don't understand there's a difference between law and regulation. And one of the biggest problems that New Jersey has, I think, is over-regulation. One of the things I think the whole nation has is over-regulation. So if we can reduce that regulation, we reduce cost, we reduce interference with the people, and we all get to make our own choices and live our own lives as we see fit. It shouldn't matter. Your personal choices and how you live your life should not be mandated by anyone, so long as you're not hurting anybody else or taking away their personal rights. And I have lived my entire life trying to live by that principle. I've tried to avoid government in every branch of my life. I was a nomad for decades. I work as a stagehand. I've traveled the entire country. I've worked with blue-collar people all over this nation. They all say the same thing. They just don't know how to get there. And I think that we, as libertarians, can help show them the way. That's the best I can do for now, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason. Next, we'll hear from James Marcatulio.
Well, 4-minute lightning round won't be needing this. I've been a public service since 2007. Started as a water treatment plant operator for Brick County, New Jersey. Currently corrections officer for the County of Ocean County. And I've been a fly on the wall for the past 10 years of government, and I've seen exactly how the top waste your money through nepotism and just wasteful spending. Now, for the last 8 years, we've had a governor that's divided the working class by public worker and private worker. How's that worked out for us? We're all just as broke as the other guy, so apparently that's not working. Our property taxes are only going up. So I could go on and on and on about policy, but one of the problems is I feel with government is they dictate too much to us what they want, and they don't listen too much what you guys want. So let's do some questions and answers. Anybody? You said.
You said that one of the problems is nepotism. How would you address that as governor?
Well, first off, we'd find out who's got the same last names as the guy running the company or the public service or the department. Find out exactly what their qualifications were. Find out why they were qualified for the last guy. And if they're not, they get fired, and the person put in that position is prosecuted for corruption. You, sir.
What would you do for the unfunded pension system that we are under contract to adhere to?
Well, first of all, I'd stop using it as a piggy bank. Second, I'd probably pay it, unlike the governor has, even though the public worker has been paying more towards their fair share, yet he refuses to put money into it. And I'd also cut back on the double dipping, which is also prevalent at the top, not so much as the guy digging the ditch, making sure the water's flowing. So that's probably the best you can do for right now. You, sir?
Would you cancel debt, government debt, bonds?
Well, that's a tricky situation because that affects the entire economy. If we do that without crashing our economy, we would definitely explore that. If it looks like that would form bread lines, probably not the most responsible thing to do. You, sir?
What are you going to do to bring business back to New Jersey?
Well, first we'd probably cut the unfair benefits that corporations get, close the loopholes, and bring down the regulations that large business has influenced our politicians to put on small business to make small business effective and more profitable. You, sir?
How can you communicate liberty to the public any differently than the other candidates?
Well, basically through large social media presence. Don't know how much effective we'll be with the mainstream media because they're going to ignore us at every possible turn. But if we can make a big enough social media impact, which of course is now eclipsing your mainstream media, the mainstream media have no choice but to finally recognize us. You, sir?
What's your position on public schools and how would you change the way public schools are funded?
That would probably take up more than the time I have, but once again, we have to re-examine the role of the people up top, like the administrators, such as the Board of Education, and the superintendents. There's a lot of superintendents, they make over $100,000 a year, but what exactly can they do? Got more time, anybody else? You, sir?
Would you pursue the prosecution of current government officials for corruption charges?
Absolutely. If you are in a position of public trust, you betray that trust, that's probably the worst offense you can commit against the American people. Going once, going twice. How much time I got left?
5 seconds.
Taxation is theft, and your body, your choice.
All right, thank you, James. And now we're going to hear from Carice.
Good morning.
Morning.
You guys hear me?
Morning.
All right, good morning. My name is Carice Laguerre, and it is a great pleasure to be here with you today as we embark on the year that the Libertarian Party finally puts an end to bipartisan elections in New Jersey. In all things, we know that timing is everything. This is our year. As the bipartisan politicians will fight through the discourse created by their historical mismanagement of government, we will carve a path to, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. We will carve a path to revival. Historically, revolutions occur when there is discourse and a courageous leader who is willing to empower the people, downtrodden, disillusioned, and disgusted by the established system of lies and abuse, political tensions rising like the high tide, washing out the belief that bipartisan politics have their best interest in mind. The state is full of minds ready to embrace the libertarian ideas and take charge of their own lives with less government intrusion. This movement is not one that can be forced upon them. It must be their own idea. Empowered by the ideal of volunteerism, based in a citizen-led government, I am certain that we can reduce government naturally by legislative inclusion. The people, ordinary, hardworking people, involved in every aspect of decision-making and laws, helping to write and reform laws that will assist in the legalization of marijuana, restoring Second Amendment rights, reducing taxation, and improving education. We should have always had a government that required our input. Our tax contributions are our hard-earned cost of admission into government. Therefore, we must break down the establishment. Collectively, we must lead if we don't want to be misled. My campaign is not here to make a bunch of promises of things that I will do for you. Instead, I'd rather empower you. That way we can work together to get this state on the right path. My appeal, my campaign's appeal, is that this is real for me. New Jersey, as a lifelong resident, this state has always been the backdrop of my dreams and the unrequited love of my reality. Our failing economic growth, suffocating debt, and the outstanding high cost of living is chipping away at my family, as well as many other working class families here in New Jersey. The timing is right for us, but we need the right motivations to encourage others to vote for liberty. And while a full-time campaign is noble and ideal, what would garner more respect and relatability from thousands of people who are out there working overtime or multiple jobs in order to make ends meet than a candidate who is also working hard to provide for their own family as well as working hard to improve the state? I'm not in this race because I want to be. I'm in this race because I have to be. We, and when I say the term we, it is an all-inclusive term that stands for the fed up, the underrepresented, the minorities, the working class, the immigrants, the oppressed, the libertarians. We are never going to get the respect we deserve unless one of us stands up for all of us. Now is the time that I encourage you to make a decision that ends complacency as a third party in what is normally a two-party race and begin making strategic movements. Because if we want to see big change, that's going to require a really big move. Thank you.
Can we get a big round of applause for all our candidates? I've never had such an outstanding qualified field of candidates, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of the party to everyone who's running. You were all qualified.